we are multiplying binomial times a binomial. So a binomial is the two terms. So you're multiplying two terms by two terms. So what it's going to look like is this. X plus some value like A times X plus B. So it'll look like this. X plus 6 times X minus 6. I don't know. That's just an example. Actually, I'm going to do 2 instead of that. So it could be plus or minus. And we have two different ways we are going to multiply. We're going to use the box method. And then the other method is double distribution. And I'm not going to require you to do one way over another. You get to decide which way makes sense to you, which way is easier for you. But I am going to show you both ways and have you do both ways in your notes. Then when we do the problems together, you get to decide which method you want to do. So box method, I'll show you that on the next page. Double distribution, you might see it as FOIL. Whenever I was in high school, that's what they called it, FOIL. But we're not talking about FOIL at all. But if you ever hear that word, that's what it's talking about. Because you distribute this one, and then you distribute this one to everything in the second parentheses. So go ahead and open up your notes, and we have some examples. So we have box method first. So we have x plus 4 times x plus 8. So we have this box that we are going to put things on the outside and then do some multiplying. So this is going to be x plus 4. So see how that's right here? And then this other one is x plus 8. X plus 8. And then we multiply rows by columns. X times x is x squared. Then we have x times 4. It's positive 4x. Then we have 8 times x is 8x. Then we have 8 times 4. It's 32. So all we're doing is multiplying. And then we could write it out as our answer. So you would write it out in greatest exponent order down to smallest exponent order. So it'd be like x squared plus 4x plus 8x plus 32. And then we would combine like terms, which are just the x's. 4x plus 8x is 12x. And then carry everything down. X squared plus 12x plus 32. So when we multiplied binomials, we got a trinomial because the middle terms combined together or added together. This step isn't absolutely necessary because what we could do is look how these are our like terms. We could just circle those and add it together. 8x plus 4x is 12x, which is that middle term right there. Have y'all seen something like this before? Do you remember This is like an area model when you multiply two-digit numbers. And also in biology, the Punnett square. Have y'all learned that yet? So it's kind of like that with the genes, the recessive and dominant genes. So let's look at the next one. 2a plus 5 times a minus 7. These can be interchangeable. So I didn't have to do it like that. That's just what I chose to do this time. So 2a plus 5 and then a minus 7. So we multiply a times 2a. 2a squared, because it's a times a. And then we have 5 times a. It's 5a. Negative 7 times 2a. Negative 14a. Because it's a negative times a positive, so it's a negative 14a. And then negative 7 times positive 5. You can put it in the calculator, but it's negative 35. You can write it out, then combine and write your final answer. Or you can see that your diagonals here are like terms, and we can go ahead and combine them now. Negative 14 plus 5a. So in your calculator, you can do that. Negative 14 plus 5. Negative 9. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out here. Negative 9a is these two combined. So we have 2a squared minus 9a minus 35. Okay, I want to show you the double distribution method now. So we're going to skip 3 and 4 and go to the double distribution real quick. All right. It says distribute the first number in the first set of parentheses, basically to the second set. So we're going to take the first number in the first set, and we're going to distribute it to the second set. So just like we did yesterday, we're distributing one term at a time. 3x times 2x. 6x squared. Then 3x times negative 5. Negative 15x. But it's not our final answer. Make sure you're with me. Because we distribute the first number, but we also have to do step 2, which is distribute the second number, which if you ignore what's in front, that's a negative 4. So don't just say it's 4, it's whatever's in front of it as well. So negative 4 is going to be distributed to the second set. So now multiply negative 4 times 2x. Negative 8x, and negative 4 times negative 5. Step 3 is to simplify. So 6x squared is going to go first. But then you would combine your like terms, negative 15x and negative 8x. Negative 15 minus 8. Negative 23x. And then plus 20. So then that's my final answer. Because we combined these two guys. All right, let's go ahead and do example 1. Using double distribution. So I'm going to distribute this number to everything here. So x times x, and I'm going to write it on one line this time instead of the 2 that we did for the example. So x times x, and then x times 8 plus 8x. Then we distribute, I'm going to change my pen, positive 4 to x and to 8. See, I'm double distributing. 4 times x is 4x. And then 4 times 8 is 32. And then we look and see if we can combine any like terms. What terms can we combine? Yep, 8x and 4x. So carry down the x squared plus 12x plus 32. And what you'll notice is example 1 on box and example 1 on double distribute are the same problem. You'll see that? These two are the exact same problem. Just we did box method here and we did double distribute here. Let's go to example 2. Double distribute. So circle the first term, distribute it. Two a times a. 2a squared. 2a times a negative 7. 2 times 7 is 14, but it's negative. And now distribute the 5. 5 times a. And then 5 times negative 7. 5 times 7 is 35, but it's going to be a negative 35. Now combine your like terms. I still have the 2a squared. I combine the negative 14 and the positive 5. Negative 9a, and then minus 35. All right, you've learned both ways. Think about which way you like better. Which one makes more sense or easier to understand. I'm going to take a poll just real quick. Who likes the box method? Raise their hand. Okay, who likes the double distribute method? Raise your hand. Okay. Let's look at, remember these are the same exact answers, so you're going to do it the way that you like to do it. But example 3 looks a little different because it isn't 2 binomials. But it is, because what does squared mean? Yeah, you're multiplying it times itself. So rewrite this as z minus 6 times z minus 6. So it's nothing new. You know what a lot of people want to do whenever they have the squared? They just want to distribute the squared. But you can't do that because that's not how exponents work with binomials. You have to rewrite it as 2 binomials. All right, go ahead and rewrite this one too. And now you're going to do example 3 and 4 in the method that you choose. Okay? So go ahead and do that right now. Okay, on this one we have z minus 6 and z minus 6. What I noticed about a couple of people is they forgot the negative or the minus, which made their answer positive, so that messed it up. Z times z is z squared. Negative 6 times z, negative 6z. Negative 6 times z, negative 6z. Negative 6 times negative 6 is a positive 36. So then whenever I add these, I have a negative 6 plus a negative 6, which gives negative 12z. So when I write my final answer, I do the z squared minus 12z plus 36. So whether you did example 3 on the box method or on the double distribute, you should still get the same answer. So you can either do box or double distribute. Okay, I'm going to go to example 4, and I'll use the double distribute this time. You can just check it with mine if you're doing the box method. It's still the same thing, just a different method. So I distribute the 2x times 5x. 2 times 5 is 10. Then we have x squared. 2x times 3 is 6x, because it's 2 times 3 is 6. Then we distribute the negative 5. Negative 5 times 5x is negative 25x. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. There's no more x's there. So if you did the box, these should be in your boxes. These exact numbers should be in your boxes. So if you have a different number, that means you did your multiply wrong. Then you combine those middle terms or your diagonals on the box. So we have 10x squared. 6 minus 25. What is that? It's negative 19. And then minus 15. Go ahead and glue this in, and then we're going to do some problems together.